Oh
Mm.
man, we're here, buddy. You didn't go to sleep on us, did you?
No, I'm just wiping the sleep out of my eye. I don't think people appreciate what it takes to bring this world-class show. Like, I didn't have a nap today. So,
I,
man, I am dragging
Produce
now.
me and producer Doug. Look, we're at that age. I'm not gonna lie to you. We need a nap, probably.
Yeah.
It's one of those things, buddy. It's just one of those things.
No. I feel it. Like, if I can't get my nap in by about 1 o'clock, I might as well stay up.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah. All depressed, like might as well stay
yeah,
up.
stay up because 3 o'clock, it's like, it's too late to lay down because I don't want to sleep through dinner.
Oh, absolutely not. Oh man, well, plus, look, we're working hard on the show for everybody. That's all I can say
That's
because
right.
the news does not stop. Just nonstop
It's
between
incredible.
Trump and Doge and Elon cussing at somebody and
Oh,
trying to screw Sam Altman out of OpenAI with an unsolicited $94 billion bid.
gosh. The
It's never
money.
I think even Elon posted there's never a dull day on X now,
There
buddy.
can't be. And y'all complained about him having your social security numbers. He's doing his job for free. I love how they act like this is such an invasion of privacy that he has these people surrounding him. Who do you think's been surrounding Biden for the last 4 years? And we don't even know. We don't even know who was calling the shots in that whole situation. You notice how they all hid out in the background. We don't even know. At least you know who's in the background now. You didn't even know who's in the background then. And when your president stays at home all the time and hangs out wherever he hangs out and never comes out in front of the camera, who's running it? Who is running it? That's
We
very
knew who.
tragic.
Apparently, some idiots were running it. That's what was
I
going
guess
on
so.
because, dude, oh my
Somebody
God, the stuff that would come out of the White House, I mean, it
I
was
was like,
crazy.
really? Y'all not proofreading? Y'all not going over it? You're not sitting around a table thinking, okay, is this gonna look stupid when it comes out into the pub? Nah, it looks just fine. Let's just put it out there. Like, y'all are crazy. That
Well,
is
they were
insane.
insane. They were insane anyway with the policies, buddy. And I tell you what,
Right,
we're
right.
that's why the news is on fire every day since the 20th of January, buddy. The news has
It's
been on fire
crazy.
because
It's
and that's because
I mean,
47 knows that look,
that's
4
right.
years isn't a long time, buddy. He's got to get to dismantling if we're going to make this stick.
That's right. That's right. That 4 years in between them was a lot of damage done, apparently.
That's right. Well, we're working hard, and I tell you what. So everybody, we're simulcasting on our two great free speech channels, Rumble and X, and of course we talked about it last week. We caved to the man. Don't judge. All right, we put it on YT. All right, so but for God's sakes, y'all come on in. You see the banner on the bottom of the screen. Look, give the show a call. We'll put you on. It's 504-500-SNAG 7624. And of course, we got a disclaimer ready in case you're a nut job. But that's all right. You just call in and we'll be like,
we
it's
can't
like the
control
people who
your
used to,
speech.
yeah, it's like the people used to call in our bell, man. You never knew what you were gonna get, buddy. As goddamn
right.
lizard people,
right.
they were. I was in my room hunting Bigfoot, and I saw a shadow person sneak behind the door, and then I called. Who was the priest, man, that used to do the? I loved him, man. The priest that used to do the exorcism.
Oh yeah,
Father Malachi Martin, buddy. Malachi Martin.
Father Malachi. Yes,
That was some fantastic
I love
stuff.
how he would just have whoever on his show. He just said such good. And think about it. He always just how weird would that have been just to interview them on the phone? Like there was no video conferences or anything back then.
Yeah, there was.
It was just over the radio. It's like you never saw your get like he knew his guest that he had on, But I bet you could count on one hand how many times he ever met them in person because he lived like such a
Oh,
recluse.
absolutely.
Uh,
Hmm.
and to see and run his Google images to see where he was literally in a trailer in the middle of
He really was in
the
Pahrump, Nevada, buddy. But oh God. But anyway, these three great
wow.
platforms.
Yeah.
We're taking over late night spot, buddy. Truck drivers, all that. While you're on the road, call in, give us a lot lizard report.
Man, no
I
doubt.
mean, God bless. And
You can go back to music or whatever it is after our
that's
show.
right. But
You can go
504
back and listen to it then.
504 500 snag. Feel free. And I tell you what, just look, if you're on the YT buddy, give us a subscription. We got to get monetized
Well, I guess
to get more liquor
yeah.
at After Hours
There you
Live
go.
show. Here, of course, great state of Rumble, After Hours Live. And if you're on X, look, come visit us, give us a follow at Cav Literature, at producer Doug. And I tell you what, and pinned to the top of my profile on X, we had a fantastic regular Cocktails with Cav show tonight.
Yes.
Interviewed
Yes.
incredible author from Chicago. She's quite controversial. Y'all go check her out. Tia Janae. She fantastic interview. And I tell you what, she got on it a little bit, buddy. She
did. I felt like I was gonna have to I felt like I needed to call in, even though I know it wasn't set up. I felt like I need to call in and defend Chicago. She's from there. I'm not. And I'm like, hey, what are you talking about my adoptive city like that for?
that is
Or
hilarious.
of course now her response would be, have you seen all of Chicago? And I'll be absolutely not. I've gone maybe 8 blocks south of the river and about 10 miles north of the river. So I have not been to the areas you're talking about. But I have seen the gentrification from downtown out to United Center. It is I hate to say it, young people everywhere. You actually could walk from downtown to the United Center, where before, when you got out of that Uber ride at United Center, you better know exactly which door you're going in when you got out of your Uber ride. You did not want to linger out there.
That's how it was. It's just like New Orleans after Katrina, man. It was you know, just
so, yeah,
remember we'd be riding down like in the ninth ward, like why is there a young white girl jogging in Lululemons? No,
who's strolling the kid down? Yeah, that's exactly right. That was so weird to see.
Oh my God. Yeah, because we grew
after the storm completely changed.
Because all the women in our family, look, you know, you don't stop at any red lights as you're going through there, buddy. If the cop pulls you over, just tell him. My dad said I ain't stopping. No, you know.
Right. And I mean, you went down St. Claude, but you went down St. Claude at a really good, respectable speed because you did not want to slow down.
Oh, yeah, that was back in the day. But it did. It got gentrified.
And now
you know, they priced them out of their own neighborhood, you know, and all the check cash.
I mean, even the Bywater.
Yeah.
Who would ever think you'd see restaurants down in the Bywater? That neighborhood was pretty bad back in the day.
Well, sure.
Around Montague, St. Ferdinand, Florida Avenue, around our old stomping ground.
Not to give anything away, right?
Without, we're not tearing the curtain down completely, but just to give you an idea, that being that close to Desire Housing Project, it was terrible. And it's just completely different. Now I would drive down through and not think anything about it. But you wonder when you're going through the neighborhood, like, where did everybody go?
Yeah.
Houston?
Yeah, well, we lost a large hunk of the
population. A lot got put.
Sure. Yeah. And we had it was actually just Orleans isn't even the most populous parish in Louisiana anymore. It's actually Jefferson Parish now.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Well, don't you think a lot of people went to, we got a few here in Birmingham that we met over the years through kids at school and everything. But I think a lot went to Atlanta, just went to other metro cities where they probably thought, well, we don't have to worry about hurricanes up here. And I get that. I mean, you truly were devastated
Well,
and you got a chance to move to
well,
another
that was
city.
during Katrina. The governor of Texas said, "Look, after about like 7 or 8 months, he said, all right, Houston's just going to hell in a handbasket,
Yeah.
right? He's
Our generosity is running
the
thin.
governor said, look, we'll buy you a one-way ticket anywhere you want to go in the United States." He was just like, anywhere, pick a Hawaii. You want to go to Hawaii? We'll buy you a one-way ticket to Hawaii.
Oh my God. One way being
and that he was trying to,
there.
he was
Wow.
working hard at it. He's like, look, we'll give you a one-way ticket, buddy.
I wonder, like, the population that shifted, how much of that percentage do you think came back? Maybe 15%? Maybe
And probably more than probably
maybe 25.
probably somewhere. I'm not real sure, but like I said, Orleans Parish ducked down to below being
That's
the least
crazy.
populous.
That is crazy.
And
So Jefferson Parish kind of took
but
that
they
over,
still
I guess.
managed to, elect the most idiot mayor in America. But
Yeah, I don't know what's wrong. Like, my gosh, what is up with that? But I wonder if a lot of the gentrification couples that moved into, I don't know, mid city up toward City Park and all that, you know, the crazy part is they're coming in after a lot of that bad element was run out, and they're voting, I guess, like young people would vote. They're thinking they're helping somebody.
yeah.
So
I don't
odd.
know. We'll see what
So
things
odd.
change around.
Yeah.
Well, geez, and we
Yeah,
got
no
dude,
doubt.
we
Anyway.
have so much to talk about. We got to get to it. You know what time it is.
All right.
You know what time it is. It's Trump time,
Oh,
man.
man.
It's Trump time.
Yeah. Is that not the whitest dance ever? I love it.
Well, look at us, buddy, on the screen. We look like we dance like that anyway, buddy.
Yeah, no, I'm flexible like a steel anvil, so I can.
Oh yeah, but let's get to it, buddy. Trump done threatened Hamas, buddy. Big news, big news.
Ooh.
Well, I would say this, and I'm going to let that because that's Israel's decision. But as far as I'm concerned, if all of the hostages aren't returned by Saturday at 12 o'clock, I think it's an appropriate time.
Wow.
Trump told him high noon, baby. Fucking high noon
on Saturday.
I would say
something he and Netanyahu discussed.
I guess. Well, he
that's a very precise time on a very precise.
He
day.
gave him high noon, baby.
He did. Wow. Okay.
Cancel it, and all bets are off, and let hell break out. I'd say they ought to be returned by 12 o'clock on Saturday, and if they're not returned, all of them, not in drips and drabs, not 2 and 1 and 3 and 4 and 2. Saturday at 12 o'clock, and after that, I would say all hell is going to break out.
Oh, he just straight up, buddy.
So I guess he's telling you what they talked about.
Maybe it's quite possible, but
it sounds very precise for another country. I mean, you're commenting on what another country's going to do, and you just met with their leader. So I got to be thinking they probably said, "Hey, what's a good timeline? I don't know. How about noon on Saturday?"
right.
There's no college football, so we got plenty of time to noon on Saturday. Super Bowl. The Super Bowl's over. We got plenty of time. Let's do something.
Yeah. The Super Bowl's going, buddy. It's and I was having at it during the Super Bowl because they were just.
It was so funny. It was so funny.
Oh yeah,
the halftime show. Of course, my kids understand the halftime show. I knew who he was, and I had heard a lot of the stuff he was doing just from being at football games and cars driving by and what, my kids' friends were talking about. So I was pretty familiar with what he does, but that is just really hard to pull off at a Super Bowl in that venue because you're not set up for a concert. You're set up for a sporting event.
I think they got it down to a science by now.
I think the production did good, and I'll give them credit. Those dancers were right together. I don't think there was one person other than the one that pulled out the Palestinian flag toward the back that they didn't. He was the only one that got out of sync. Was the guy with the flag? Wasn't that correct? Like, how did you bring that out there and nobody saw it? You're like, I'm just. Can I lay it down?
Well, they
right
finally
here?
tackled him. It's good. But my favorite, favorite part, of course, during the. Poor Taylor Swift.
Yes.
She got booed.
Yeah.
And of course, Trump, he just
he just went to town. Allegedly, she requested that they not show her. So I don't think she could be entirely surprised that happened since he was in the house. So allegedly, she asked them not to put her on camera, but I guess they just couldn't resist.
Well, they did.
That was so funny.
Well, she got booed. What can you say, buddy?
I know, and it was Fox's broadcast, and they're like, "Screw her! Put a camera angle on there when they and see what the crowd's reaction is."
And it was right away, buddy. It was it was right away.
It was so bad. Well, and when you sit next to a professed Satanist, that that's kind of the company you keep in there. It's a little bit concerning.
She got a little, and people posted that meme, whatever that one is with the puppet that gives the side eye. And then looks at because she side-eyed, looked at the camera, and then they posted it.
Yes. That she thought if I'll just glance over to look around, but I'm not going to turn my head. I'm going to act like I didn't, acknowledge it. But when you cut the side out of that was even better. That could not have been a better.
Oh yeah, and then of course I had to post the meme I made because I couldn't take it. I knew it was happening. It was going to be, I'm not in the mood tonight, Taylor. Right. And she's like on the balcony the next morning. I guess I'll have to write a new song about leaving somebody.
Oh my gosh, that's so funny. Maybe, I don't know, she could write a song about, something like it would, I don't know, like a high school, like we thought we were going to win, but we didn't.
Yeah.
I don't know what that would
and
be.
Then I guess.
I'm sure she'll think of something. She's just
But
brilliant.
man, Kansas City got their asses trounced, buddy. They got it.
That was so embarrassing. They didn't even score in the first half. Now, I figured in the second half they would come back a little bit, but you can't overcome the other team.
No,
like 40.
They just got their ass handed, buddy. Ass handed,
They did. They really did. Philadelphia. I'm not normally a Philadelphia fan, but man, I was last night. I was loving that. That was just the biggest crapshoot going on in the that was so funny.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
And I think that honestly, I could say that is the first Super Bowl. And a lot had to do. I want to see the Elon Musk ads if they were going to come on.
What happened with that? Where's everybody at? Somebody call in and
I don't know,
tell me what the hell happened.
Did he pull it at the last minute? I don't just think now he's got $40 million just to spend.
Well, that's the only reason we watched it. Most of us, we were all like,
yeah, but him paying $40 million is like us paying $100.
Well, yeah.
Like, yeah, we pay $100 to get on the Super Bowl jumbotron. I mean, on the ads at least.
Yeah.
Broadcast.
Well, and now they've invested. I don't know if everybody's seen it now, but on X, look, we got the MAGA Minute videos coming out. We get to look at Caroline. I love us some Caroline now. Love us some
Oh
Caroline.
my goodness!
But here's the
gracious.
MAGA
Wow.
minute release today. Let's see what we got here.
Okay.
Welcome to the MAGA Minute. It's been a huge week here at the White House, and let's go over the wins President Trump delivered on behalf of you, the American people. On immigration, illegal migrant encounters between the ports of entry are down nearly 87%. On the economy, President Trump laid out a plan to establish a sovereign wealth fund to better invest the more than $5 trillion in assets held by the United States. He also proposed tariffs on imports from Canada and Mexico and China, and those tariffs were swiftly paused after our allies agreed to step up and address these issues. We are streamlining USAID into the State Department. President Trump signed a historic executive order to ban men in women's sport. Lastly, President Trump is already making our military strong again. Army recruitment in the month of December, with the anticipation of President Trump's return to the Oval Office, hit a 15-year high. We'll see you for next week's MAGA Minute.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. 15-year
Nice.
high,
Well,
buddy.
So does this mean I can't join the women's pickleball
No,
league?
you're out,
the
buddy.
pickleball league would have been that would have been like I would show up and they'd be
Even though
trembling.
you have
The pickleball-
boobs, you're not allowed to participate in the
Even though but here's the problem. I watched those women playing pickleball the other night, the tournament, and I don't know. I couldn't beat them. I couldn't beat them, no matter who I identified.
Well, and
as.
they had that
They are so wicked.
they had that flag football commercial during the Super Bowl, and that was
See, they would outrun me there too. So I don't know which women's sport. I don't know which one I could dominate. Maybe just wrestling. I might could do wrestling. I'd still struggle. I probably couldn't even win boxing. They would punch me out boxing. I couldn't do that.
Now I'm
either.
going to talk about even that though, because man, when I was like in the service, one of my teammates, little short, scrawny, really skinny guy. I mean, he was, and I was, you know, I'm not a small guy, you know, and of course, you know, I look like Brad, you know, in the Super Bowl commercial as he goes up against the poor girl and flag. But no, he was a wrestler in high school though, and I'll tell you what, it didn't take him 0.7 seconds to have me all like on the ground, like no.
It's all technique. It really is technique.
Yeah, it's technique, buddy.
and centering your body mass. I get it's keeping from getting what am I trying to say when you're not balanced, but your weight's off. You got to stay centered.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, you know, and use their weight against them. I guess I don't know. I'm talking like I've ever done that. But and
Caroline said it though. I love that the military getting stronger, buddy, because that's 15-year recruitment high, buddy. Well, because when I talk to my fellow veterans,
because they're proud to go. Right.
Yeah. Talk to my fellow veterans, and they're look, I can tell you right now that the Democrats went about the business of pissing off the people who fight their fucking wars for them. That's what they did.
That's exactly right.
And,
right.
I'm sorry, but you know what? Little skinny jean wearing Antifa, he isn't signing up for the Marines and the Army and the Air Force and the Navy.
Right. He's gonna get captured immediately, and then we're gonna have to release somebody to get him back because he got captured.
Well, they're not going to be anywhere near the service, and but they catered to people that look. If you want to be, now that we're tearing it all up with Doge, right? The military-industrial complex bullshit and all this stuff, right? But it's like if you want to be the military-industrial complex, don't piss off the people that you go send as cannon fodder for your bullshit, right?
Yeah, they're the last line of defense against people who sit back and laugh at your programs trying to make stuff weak. Like, well, they wouldn't say they're trying to make it weak. They say we're trying to make it diverse. That does nothing but give our enemies something to laugh about. And CNN reported that there are 4 high-level military leaders that said they will not follow orders if Trump orders them. Like, okay, fired,
Out,
fired,
buddy.
fired,
Out,
fired.
out, out,
Gone.
out.
There's plenty of people behind you that will do the job. Gone. And not only should you be fired and lose your pension, charged with treason, because and would they not go before a military tribunal? They're not going in a regular court system.
Nope.
You piss the military
UCMJ
off,
all
you're
the
not
way,
going
buddy.
in the regular court system.
But insubordination,
Yep. And so
I mean,
go.
they're
Yep.
not going to get treason, but insubordination, yeah, knock yourself out and go buff some concrete at Fort Leavenworth, buddy.
Right. That's exactly right. And fall from
And
grace. And they got to be held accountable for not doing,
Oh,
not doing their job. And he needs to give them something to do just to see if they
Oh,
follow
yeah,
it or
'cause-
not. And when they don't,
yeah, because most people, I
Leavenworth.
mean, look, when you're a general officer in the service, look, you get a house, you get a servant, you get a driver in a car,
lot
you
to
get,
lose.
it's
you got a lot to
a
lose.
lot of benefits. But if you're going to be insubordinate to the commander in chief, look, that's the way our system was set up, buddy. And you don't have to
That's-
always
that's
agree,
exactly
because there's been a plethora of military commanders that don't always agree with the political civilian leadership.
but you still got to do it.
But that's
Right,
our
still gotta do it.
system, buddy. And
Yeah. That's very
yeah.
just very concerning about that whole thing. Like they would even, and I sure hope that's not right.
Yeah.
But even if you're thinking that, you're not going to say that out loud. There's just no repercussions.
Well,
for
Millie
anything anymore.
Millie did that.
Yeah.
Backdoor channel to the Chinese. Are
Right,
you out
right.
Oh,
That
now that's
God,
treason.
that is, and that would have been death decades ago. That would have been death, and now we just don't do anything. So if you don't want to send a clear message, and you're afraid other people might do it, just keep pussyfooting around with them and not doing what you need to do, because that sends a message that you're not going to hold people accountable, and that's when you start to lose your continuity.
And right before we came on,
people underneath you are watching that.
right before.
All the
Yeah.
people underneath that leadership.
Oh,
watching that.
absolutely. And right before we came on, buddy, Secretary of Defense Hegseth, buddy, he's on his job. Just it broke
Look at that.
a couple hours just before we
That
come on.
looks like
buddy.
Air Force One.
Here's
Oh,
him.
Yeah.
There it is. Pursuant to the authority of the Secretary of Defense, Title 10, United States Code, Section 113, I direct the Army to change the name of Fort Liberty, North Carolina to Fort Bragg, North Carolina. That's right. Bragg.
Bragg is back, buddy.
Oh, my Bragg is back. Are they going to reinstate all the other bases that are still known by those
I
names?
hope so, because as a former 18 Charlie, buddy, I approve. And somebody responded to my tweet with, do Fort Hood next, buddy. Is like, yep, do Fort Hood next, buddy.
Yep, that's right. Just return it all back. I hate that revisionist history.
Oh,
It
my
does
God.
not. There's no place for that in the
And
military.
quit pissing off the people that fight your wars. 'Cause what's that running joke?
Right.
It was like, that's terrorists. They're not coming down into red states, buddy, because we'll show them a yeehaw.
That's right. They
That's
know
my
better.
jihad
They know
joke,
better.
buddy. Yeehaw.
I don't. You make fun of the gun owners all you want to, but at the end of the day, don't think our enemies don't realize how well armed that we really are.
Oh, yes.
Now you may kill us, but we're going to be able to.
We're
take
taking a few with us,
several
buddy.
people out before you do that. That's right. There's going to be some. I'd say there'll be some other people up there with me waiting to get in the gates. I'm hoping they're not going up to the gates. Hopefully they'll get processed south of here, not north.
Yeah,
of here.
oh yeah, without a doubt. And then
They'll be at the other gates, the real dark gates.
yeah. And look,
That are
well,
not so
they
well
are
lit.
busy going about. Look, and like I said, I approve, and I'm trying to be
It's hard to be impartial because
I'm not going to be impartial anymore right now because
you can't be right. It's to the point that if you think that I mean it really is to an ignorant point that if I stood up for anything differently than what I stand for now, I would feel filthy and weak on the inside. Just not going to do it. That wasn't the way we were raised. That goes to your core, and my core is never going to
Oh,
change.
I know. And it's everybody give us a follow, man. Give us a follow. We're coming up on a half-hour mark. Give us a follow on X at Oh, yes, please. By all means, give us a follow on X at Cav Literature, at producer Doug. DM us. We don't care. We talk to anybody. We got low self-esteem. We got no friends. Nah,
I mean,
it's
yeah, you're never going to see no DMs on our profile because we're not cliquish like that.
Yeah.
We welcome
DMs.
Even though it's crypto crap all the time, the crypto is
you get the crypto. Well, ladies, all you ladies that are business owners in LA that love traveling and are a nice person, feel free. Just keep DMing me. I got plenty of friends that way, buddy. I plenty of friends. And they're hot, buddy.
Anytime that I get a DM from somebody attractive, I'm like, okay, yeah, dude, this is like a business transaction.
You know what age?
I know what this is.
You know what age and self-esteem level we are when we see a good-looking woman DM us and we're like, this is obviously a scam because there's no good-looking woman.
I want all y'all attractive women to know that you are predators to us because we know better.
Speaking of which, I did get DM'd in X. Look, I realize at some level we tend to be a bro podcast sometimes. I get it.
Right.
But I promise, look, we love our female audience, and I am going to come up with a segment like beefcake bangers or something like that just for y'all, since we tend to have bikinis running around the show half the time, so
we could put something up for the late. We're going to try to be more inclusive. So this will be the version of our sideline reporter.
That's right.
Now
I haven't had
a reverse.
I haven't had the graphic made up yet, but I promise we'll do a segment of like beefcake bangers of like great tweets, great memes that
right. Okay. Have we got any Chippendales videos?
Yeah, I'll come up with something. But in the meantime, we gotta. You know what time it is? Let's. We're doing the news, buddy.
Oh my God, we went from one extreme to the other.
We went to Chelsea. I see. God. I was trying to ruin the mood because you know why? Monica's.
Oh my God!
I'm gonna get us banned on 4 channels.
That is so bad.
But follow us on X. Follow us on Rumble at After Hours Live, and of course on the YT.
I tell you
at
what,
After Hours Live show.
Chelsea looks more attractive now that I know she has $84 million in the bank.
Yeah,
that helps. That helps.
Money is an aphrodisiac. That is just how it goes, right, buddy.
She's not a looker, but she is financially set. And then think what she'll inherit from her 2 goons that brought her into the world.
Anytime we talk about the Clintons, it gets me going, buddy. That's like this. I'll have to.
I think
I have
to be close to my neighborhood, so I'm like, oh.
Yeah, well, you gotta, and then
Yeah.
He asked Hillary. I asked Hillary to be my Valentine. She left me hanging.
Oh my gosh. That may be the best meme I have seen. I don't know how long. Oh my gosh, that is hilarious.
But we do just going back to that DM. We're gonna have to come up with our female segment. That to something that'll
be equal time.
Yeah, because we love our female audience. We love our truck drivers. Oh yes, man, you guys, y'all call in, truckers out there. Look, 504-500 snag. Give us a lot lizard report. Let us know what's going on at the.
Yeah, I mean, we don't know if you don't tell us. We just have to assume that everything's just going great.
Driver 69, your hot, clean shower is ready.
Why is that? Why is that so disturbing to hear shower announcements when I stop at the truck stop?
It really is when you stop in the middle of
I'm like,
Loves and it's
I
like,
feel
your hot,
guilty.
your hot, clean shower is ready.
I feel guilty because when I hear that, I think it makes me want to get to the Marriott even quicker to take a hot shower in my own hotel room, and I feel sorry for them having a shower like that on the road when I'm headed to a hotel and I hear that announcement. It's like,
Well, yeah, because it's and
that's
dude,
tough, man. That's a tough way to make a living.
it is. It's
Oh,
look, that's why we
God.
love our truck driver
We
fans,
do love them,
man.
absolutely, we do.
Absolutely. We'll keep you company on the road, buddy, as long as we can.
That's
I mean,
right.
I have a hard time getting drunk, Doug, to stay up past when he doesn't have a nap.
It's kind of tough. If I'm driving on a route, I just hope my 12 hours are up by about 8 o'clock. So,
You
then
just
I'd hit the
time it
Waffle
out so
House.
you can get in that.
I really would. I'd time it out. I'd start driving about 8 in the morning, and that way by 8 in the evening, at 8:01 p.m., I'm ordering the all-star breakfast at Waffle House.
Oh,
with
yeah.
the waffle.
Well, see, you got to do it, buddy. You got to do
No,
it.
I'd have a heart attack after driving about probably 6 months. I don't know. That'd be tough.
But
That
I
is
do.
tough.
We need to get us. I'm going to make it mission, buddy, to get us one good truck driver friend that'll call in with a lot lizard report wherever he's at on the road.
Right.
We're public service.
Man,
We're
we
public.
want to know, like, what are you hauling, if you can tell us? What's the most unusual thing that you've ever shipped? And what's the most bizarre story, which is it'll be a lot lizard story, you know that.
It's
We
going to
wanna
have
see
to be a
what's
lot
bizarre.
lizard story, buddy.
We wanna-
Some
and
puddle jumper.
that's right. That's right. That's right. Oh, God.
And dude, also, that's what I'm telling you. We're having a hard time coming up with the news. Right before we came on, buddy, that broke too. Motley Crue singer Vince Neil's plane crashes at the Scottsdale
That
airport.
was his. That
was his, buddy.
Oh, my gosh. Oh, my God. That is unreal.
Ran right into the other plane.
Move that
buddy.
big old bird over. So the pilot got killed, I think.
I'm not sure. Did somebody?
I think they had. Yeah, I think they had one death. And I'm assuming that's the pilot, because think about it. His plane. I'm just thinking like a simpleton here. His plane is running underneath that other one. Dude, that's going to be right at eye level for the pilot. I bet it just caved that the cab.
Yeah, the
I
cab.
know,
Yeah,
the cab. Yeah, that's why. That's White Trash Airline. He caved the cab in, and the driver probably was.
How
the
many
one that
vehicles is Vince Neil gonna be in that kills somebody?
You know what? I gotta
too
be
soon?
thinking.
Too soon? What?
I don't.
Was it too soon? I don't know.
Okay, maybe a little bit, but I would have said this too. I was hoping he'd fly better than he sings, because.
Oh,
But apparently it's the same. Oh, but I did not know that was him. Is that not correct? Think how long it's been since we've lost a singer in a plane crash. I don't know. Well, I don't know when the last time. Do you?
Stevie Ray, maybe?
Helicopter.
In a helicopter?
I get that was 35 years ago.
Damn,
Think
really?
about it. That
Yeah.
was 35. I think 1990 in August, not quite 35, but yeah, in a helicopter. That's right. Or the singer with oh my gosh, this Montgomery Gentry. Remember Troy Gentry got killed in a helicopter crash.
Yeah, I think
How
so.
odd. But I'm thinking about an iconic rock singer, musician. I guess it was Stevie Ray Vaughan. I guess
That's
is
probably the last biggie, huh?
Dang, it's been a while. Everybody's like, what's it with all these crashes lately? Like, this stuff always goes on. It's just that the microscopes on the aerospace industry obviously.
Yeah,
lately.
yeah.
But
And I mean,
but I felt
before
that's
that, it
still
was what? Leonard Skinner, maybe
yeah.
before that.
Yeah, probably that
Yeah,
was obviously the biggest playing, and then Jim Croce and.
yeah,
You go back to
yeah.
Buddy Holly. I mean, you could go, but that's getting way back. I'm talking about like of our
Recent, yeah,
generation.
contemporary.
The
But
bat Skinner was probably, yeah, that was probably one of the worst.
and
And
the
then
poor
Reba,
guitar player, man. Did you see
oh
the
man,
documentary on him?
yes,
You
Lord
know, he
have mercy.
survived. I mean, obviously, when you have survivor guilt, that's
Was
going to
it
be.
worth? Was it worth surviving? It almost made it sound like he wished he had died with them.
Well, he
But
did, and then he got in a car wreck and almost
Collins,
lost his arm.
that's right. That was Collins. That's right.
Yeah,
Wrecked his car. That is
and his
right.
family, his wife and his daughter died in a
Hey,
car wreck after
right.
that. It's
He
just,
never
dude,
was right after that. You know,
that's a
he
lot of.
came
It's a lot to
after that
carry.
happened. I guess you had Rosington Collins, or Gary Rosington and Collins got together for Rosington Collins, which is a great song, by the way. Don't misunderstand me. Oh my God, that song slaps. Anyway, yeah, he never was right after that, and he had very little. He had very little time to do anything creative, and then he just went downhill so bad. It's a miracle anybody survived that crash. I mean, they just literally just
Well,
ran into
because
the trees.
it's just like, yeah, I mean, that's a lot to carry around with you. You know,
It
it's.
really is a lot. It really is a lot.
I mean, it is a lot to carry
So
around.
sad.
You know.
So sad. And I'm sure there's somebody else like it, but you're right about Stevie Ray Vaughan and you know, there'd be one or two in the 70s and then the 80s. It really has not been that many people when you think about it.
Right,
Uh,
right.
just it seems like there'll be more when you think about how many people these people fly all the time. So, I mean, you're just hearing the worst of the worst. But
Yeah,
man,
yeah.
that is crazy. I
It
did
really
not know
is. I
that was
mean,
Vince Neil's plane.
yeah,
So is
yeah.
it a ride share? Or is it really his plane?
Oh, is it a
I
ride
need to.
share? Yeah.
Is it one of those net jet things where it's like Uber in the air?
Yeah, maybe it is what it is, but you know, man, we talked about our poor guy. It made me feel bad. It was like, you know, it's like we.
Terrible. Wow, that is bad.
Yeah, yeah. It's like, yeah, make me feel bad, man. Make me go at it.
Wow. I would have loved to sit out the airport last night, just watch all those planes take off after the Super Bowl. I can't imagine. Like, and how weird. Kevin Costner sitting next to Pete Davidson. Where did y'all meet up? I mean, where did
Yeah,
where did
they
y'all
come?
meet?
Where
Is
did they
that not
come from hanging, right?
is that not but that is so bizarre.
And then this, man, we might as well touch on it since we were talking about it. Just
Okay.
Jillian Michaels, she was just awesome, buddy.
She has glowed up. She was attractive back in the day when she was on doing the workout stuff, but even now she has like holy I'm gonna tell you somebody else since their workout days, and I'm not saying they're not working out anymore. Obviously they still are, but I'm just talking about when we first knew they were famous is Denise Austin. My gosh. Anyway,
Yeah.
I see her on TikTok a little bit, but you know, they'd have their little workout shows and all that stuff. And then you see them like that's been a long time ago, and I think they look better now than they did then. Is that possible? See, because I
Yeah.
can't imagine
Not
how
for
that
us.
is. Because I
No.
used to be handsome. I used to be handsome as hell, and now
Well,
just
yeah.
and now I look like I've been in a plane crash and survived.
That's right. That's right. Well, no, and I tell you, she's speaking a lot of common sense lately. She's just been going
I
off.
did notice she is. She's really been going off on stuff. Good for her. You know.
Well, she was just talking about the recent situation too. Let's see. She was
Okay.
So much of it, when you really go down this rabbit hole, seems to be about gaining influence and forcing regime change in other parts of the world in order to control their resources. Like it seems quite diabolical to me when you really go down this rabbit hole. I don't really think this is about Sesame Street at all. What I can tell you is I don't really understand it. Mike Benz is absolutely the guy you need to have come on to talk about it because he understands it in depth.
She's right about that. Mike Benz.
Here's my thing. Let's quit pushing our culture on these other countries, because if they're not just all of a sudden going to embrace what we do. Let's just quit pushing it off on them. If they want to participate and become a part of it, let them do it through their own channel, their own timeline. But we have got to quit pushing stuff on these. They cannot handle the freedoms that we have because they've never had any. So we just can't expect them to all of a sudden, and that's a lot of CIA crap.
Well, they're all of a sudden not going to go from throwing gay people off of roofs to accepting tranny Sesame Street.
Right.
Right.
And why would we be pushing that on another country? And the thing about it is that we got to be very careful about pushing that on Islam, because they just don't accept that very well.
Well, don't.
And then
get us
what? I can't. But that's their
don't get
belief.
us a fatwa, buddy.
I'm not.
Watch yourself.
And I'm not back.
But fatwa sex is good. Fatwa sex is good.
On him, and I'm not criticizing. I'm just saying their belief system is nothing what we're trying to push over there, and we need to quit doing that crap, or that will spark them. That could easily spark them to do something because they see us as pushing that agenda. And I agree, we don't need to be pushing it.
Well. Well, all that shit's coming to an end now. USAID out the fucking door, buddy, out the door.
Isn't that amazing? We just are talking about that now, and they've been fleecing America for probably 60 years.
Decades.
For the last 30 years, it's been probably horrible.
And you fellow Republicans out there, we know you was for decades letting this shit go on too. So y'all might want to jump on the Trump train, buddy, or whatever.
Yeah, you know what? This would be your time to be on the right side of history and show that if I was a Republican and had been in office as long as McConnell, I would say, yeah, I knew this stuff was going on, but I didn't know what to do to change it. But now that we have the momentum to change it, I'm all on your side. That's exactly how you
better jump on or get primary. That's all I'm telling you.
That's exactly
because I'll go with Scott Pressler, who followed me on X, by the way. Thanks, Scott. I appreciate it. But I'll go out with Scott Pressler and help get some votes going, buddy.
Well, I don't even care how long these old Republicans been in there. If they get, I don't want to lose your senator down there. No.
Not Kennedy, buddy.
He's off limits. He's off. But every other one of these old Republicans that have been up there too long to keep having strokes in front of the TV, vote them out and put new Republicans in there.
For God's sake, please.
They're too plugged in. They're too plugged into that old school where it's like, hey, George, look, I know we're on the different side of the aisle, but if you'll throw me a little bit of that aid money, I'll scratch your back and you scratch mine. I mean, that's
absolutely
too much of that crap.
Well, I think Jillian even talked about that too, because she's talking about the money,
Right.
And what's scary to me is that I would sit here and say to you, well, now listen, this has been going on for years and years, and Democrats and Republicans have been a part of all of this and these regime changes, and they know this is going on. But the Republicans now are falling into line. Trump's exposing it. He promised he would. He's allowing Elon Musk to do it. He said he'd drain the swamp. This is the swamp. He's draining it. And the Republicans are allowing it to happen for whatever that means and whatever the fallout will be of this. But the Democrats are fighting for it. And that's what's unforgivable. That's the part. You could say this was a co-creation of politicians on both sides.
For sure.
But the fact that they are defending it now is like, oh my God, stop while you're ahead. But point the finger at the red team over there and say, they did this one and they did that one. But it's crazy. I cannot wrap my head around the logic of how they are handling this, because the part where you defend it is absolutely absurd and makes you complicit unquestionably.
Yep, that's exactly right. Makes you complicit unquestionably.
She is awesome. And I tell you what, it's like the government. It's like the Treasury is a Brinks truck that's wrecked on the highway, and every celebrity and every legislator and every special interest group is running out the highway picking up your tax bills off the road.
Oh, yeah.
That's white collar looting, which they don't think they've done anything wrong. I'm trying to figure out how they got away with that when TurboTax nails me every year. How did they get away with that? I need an offshore account.
Well, it's like she said, like we were just talking about through all of this is, Republicans are getting on board as they should because we're watching, right?
Right. If you want to get reelected, you better let everybody know
I got
you're
news
on board.
And I got news for you. You ain't getting away with shit now that we have X. You are not getting away with shit. And I tell you what, even we're looking forward. This week's going to be a big week. Look, we got the Gabbard and Rfkjr votes coming up, slated this week sometime in the Senate for confirmation.
Coming up. Has he already? He's already pled his case. He's just waiting for.
Yes, they've cleared it, and in fact, it broke. It's a few hours before we went on, but Tulsi cleared the cloture vote, 52 to 46, to go to the floor for her confirmation. So they'll vote this week.
If JD Vance puts in for a vacation week, we need to deny that.
That's right. But then that's exactly right. But then but I don't even know if we'll need JD because
it doesn't sound like it. It doesn't sound like
4 hours ago.
The more this stuff comes out, the more it's going to be a gap. I think.
And 4 hours ago, Murkowski threw her support behind Tulsi. So
good.
I think they're going to be okay because when you got somebody like Murkowski finally figuring out she better get the hell on board.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? So maybe things are looking up, buddy. Things are getting up.
Susan Collins has always been middle to left, and they need to call her back. Of course, she's a Republican in a Democratic state, so she's trying to walk with both her feet on each side of the street. And look here, chick, you got to come around. You need to vote for your party.
Just get on. And I love how the cabinet, insofar, look, we got to get through this week's Senate votes because I tell you, get RFK and Tulsi.
That'll be good.
That means we got the heavy hitters. We're going to wrap this stuff up. But I'll tell you what, it's great how the cabinet's like meshing together because did you see today, Kristi Noem, the Department of Homeland Security requested from the Treasury Secretary to reassign the IRS criminal investigators to deportation duties.
I saw that. Now they carry a gun and a badge. They're a federal agent. They get out there and do something.
Absolutely. Just reassign them temporary assignment, help out the Department of Homeland Security because the cabinet's working as a team, buddy.
Yes, that's right. That's exactly right. 87,000 IRS agents on the border. Okay, come on down. We'll find a spot for you to stand in.
Yeah. Give them, look, man, that was some good news. And like I said, when you get the cabinet coordinating for the mission.
Yes.
Everybody's
on the same page. That's how you get through the book.
Yeah, absolutely. And like we said at the beginning of the show, it's he's got things are moving fast, buddy. He's got 4 years, which seems like a long time, but it's not a long time.
No, it really isn't. And I hope that the big push is going to be, or the big event's going to be, man, if they don't keep the White House after this term, the left is going to come in and they're going to double down worse than they did before. And it really will push civil unrest. That is going to push civil unrest if they try to go back to that.
I don't think that. I really don't think
it'll be too hard for them to come back from.
My knee-jerk reaction is that once the American people are waking up and seeing what's going on.
That's right.
That they're no longer in control of the narrative on the news, and it's kind of hard. Look, it's
been exposed
in spycraft. Look, in CIA craft, the J curve is a standard principle, right? You want to cause a revolution, you give people something, and then you take it away. So
Right.
you get them used to something really good, and then you take it away. And I think that it's just you can't unsee this stuff. And
that's the
American people
thing.
are waking
It's all
up
out in the light. You're right. And I guess it would be hard for them to go after. When you look at his approval rating, the approval rating he has is the American people coming on board more and more every day. And the more they hear about their tax money being wasted. And I mean, it's a travesty how much is going overseas. And those poor folks in North Carolina are probably, most of them, still living in RVs. Probably will be living in an RV for a couple of years.
Yeah, we got to help our North Carolina peeps, buddy. We're gonna have to,
before anybody
road
leaves
trip.
this country, North Carolina has got to be rebuilt before.
We got to take a road trip and go do a show, man, and have some guests on. Let them tell you how it's really going from the ground.
That's a great idea. That's a great idea.
But Trump's cabinet, y'all keep it up like Russ Voigt, buddy. He the newly, he got confirmed as OMB head, and he's acting director of the CFPB. And he sent out an email. This morning. Good morning, staff. As you've been informed by the COO in an email yesterday, the Bureau's DC headquarters building's closed for the week. Don't come to the office. And then he said, please don't perform any work tasks. If there's urgent matters, clear it through the legal officer, but get approval in writing before performing any tasks. And otherwise, stand down. And that's the model from what happened at USAID last week, buddy.
And how about let's keep them from their government access so they can't go through and start deleting a bunch of crap.
Well, they did already. That's why they closed the building.
Good.
They
Archive
the
it.
building.
Archive. Save the disk. Save the floppy. Yeah.
That's why they closed the building, buddy. That's what I'm talking about.
Smart. That is
smart. Oh my God. Well, ladies and gentlemen, it has been another fun night on After Hours Live. Look, I still got a little bit of cocktail.
You're doing good. Well, now you got it.
I got it. But
yes.
But again, man, look, if you're watching, we simulcast on these three great channels. Look, by all means, please give us a follow on X at Cav Literature. Producer Doug, Rumble, the After Hours Live channel, buddy, and of course, we caved to YT. So go give us a subscription over there at the After Hours Live show. We're looking forward to seeing you over there, and hit the bell so you never miss a show, because
that's right.
Drunk Doug and we're staying up with no nap.
I know.
You
got the bell might be the only thing we can hear because we're hard of hearing now. Ring that bell. I think I can hear the bell. I just can't hear the bell.
And you truck drivers, find us somebody to give us a lot lizard report. We got a whole segment and graphics made up waiting. All right.
Yes, we need the Inside Commerce edition. That's what
exactly. Well, let's Super Steve on out, buddy. Super Steve.